Hi, I'm Rob, and in this video I'm going to show you the team I'm going to use for this Hierophant Class Trial and a couple of alternatives if you don't have the troops I show at the same time. These events are really useful. If you don't have Hierophant onto level 100 yet, then these are a really good chance to get extra points towards those class talents. Right, what I'd always recommend first of all is popping to the shop and making sure you grab tier 1. This gives you a potion of enchantment, which means all your troops will start enchanted at the start of each and every battle. Really handy. And of course, if you decide to grab other tiers at the same time, you can do that at the same time and grab even more extra stuff, which is definitely worth having. Now, at tier 5, there is a really cool weapon called Summer's Wonder. It's particularly useful for this event. But unless you have a wealth of gems, don't go rushing to buy it. It is the class event. You actually can get it by just getting 250 wins in this class, and you will just get it automatically once you do that. You can just go to an Explore level 1 and just keep on doing Explore level 1, making sure you're in Hierophant class, and you will get the Summer's Wonder when you achieve 250 wins, which comes quicker than you think. Right, onto the fights themselves. I'll start with a really simple, fast team to start with and show how you should change this team as the enemy gets more difficult. This team we start with, excuse me, King Oberon. All Fey allies start with 50% mana. Really handy, and he gives a bunch of life as well to everyone, and magic. This is really important on the later stages if you're a newer player. That extra 5 magic whenever he casts is going to make a really big difference. He then creates a firestorm and enchants all Fey allies, which is going to be literally everybody in the team. Really handy. Queen Titania is our main damage dealer. She deals damage to all enemies boosted by red enemies and allies, and if there are 13 or more red gems, gain an extra turn. The traits aren't that fantastic on her trait side of things, but Faeryfy a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches is by far the best one. This gives extra damage to troops affected by spell damage. Summer's Wonder is a really good basic damage dealer, as again it is boosted by Fey allies and enemies, and if an enemy dies, grant all allies 2 random positive status effects. I'm going to be in Frost Mage for this. The reason is that it's got a lot of things which actually help this team. 25% chance to freeze a random enemy when an ally casts a spell as part of the standard traits. Then on the champion talents, we'll have freeze a random enemy at the start, immunity to frozen, anti-magic sphere reduces damage from spells by 20% is really handy. Starting battles with 50% is good. Deluge, submerge a random ally on 4 or 5 gem matches, a lightning strike, and Mystic Channel. Mystic Channel aids Queen Titania. Right, so we start with this. We're just going to explode Leprechaun straight off the bat with that potion of enchantment and a 50% start from King Oberon. This should be ready to go really quickly. Didn't show the banner, and it is the summer banner, as you might expect from a Bright Forest. +2 green, +1 purple, -1 blue. If you want to just maximize what you can do with this as well, you can actually take a look at your pets as well. What I would do on this, I would look to... You can have like a single troop bonus if you like, but I like the gem mastery bonus. This means we can get a nice buff on a colour that we would like. I've chosen for this one a Bright Beetle. +10 fire gem mastery basically means that we get an increased chance of a mana surge when collecting red, so that is the reason why I've gone for the Beetle. Alright, let's jump in. The first battles will be really straightforward. Come on, map. Not a lot of green there, so we'll grab that brown first, see if it generates anything else. You can do that, there's no real need to. Queen Titania's already ready to go. It's a big possibility, could have just cast the Leprechaun straight off the bat then and got the required mana straight away, because everybody starts with 50%. We're enchanted, it is not going to take long. Plenty there, we can just cast Queen Titania, Leprechaun, sorry, straight away. Could cast Summer's Wonder or Queen Titania there. What I should have mentioned as well is if you want to really maximise your points in this, what you can do is make sure you got the right medals equipped, which I haven't for this technically, because where everybody starts with 50% mana anyway, there's literally no need for that Medal of Anu. That's a complete waste. So if you have a Medal of Nitro, you may as well put it on. In fact, you may as well chuck a couple on if you got them. It's not going to hurt you to have even more spell damage, and that is what this is all about. So we'll go for that now and get increased damage and see how that has affected the team. Hindler Frostcrown. Really good troop at one stage. She was in a lot of giant teams. Don't see her so much anymore. So now look, we do 68 true scatter damage, and Titania does 59 instead of 51. So that makes a big worthwhile difference. So all the while, basically, you're killing these troops on the first cast. You're going to want to keep with one Queen Titania. This will vary on your magic level in the game and your level in general. She always looks grumpy, doesn't she, Queen Isabel? Look at that. It's like somebody just taking the jam out of her donut or something. It's like she's really unhappy looking. She just needs to cheer up. Just look at it. Look at that bottom right hand corner. She's giving you that glare all the time. It's like, what have I done to you to deserve that stare? It's not on. If the jam was taken out of your donut, it was not me. Yeah, let's do this last one. Like I say, most of the time you can just cast Leprechaun and she's going to be ready to do her stuff. Yeah, basically all I'm going to be doing is this until it gets to the point where I have to cast Queen Titania twice. And then what I'll probably do is swap out somebody else for a second Queen Titania. But right now we're doing a nice boost. We've got 59 damage to all enemies boosted by the red enemies and allies. So we've got a boost of plus 12, so that's going to be 71 to all enemies right now. So we're still well in the zone of not having to think about doing any more playing around with the troops. Like, this is going to be fine for a while because we've still got to cast our Summer's Wonder yet as well. We'll always cast Queen Titania first because that means we get the maximum damage possible on the initial cast. I'm not going to bother with that yellow match because Queen Titania is enchanted, of course, so he's ready on the next go, next turn. Just do this last set of 3 troops and then see where we go from there. So really easy. King Oberon giving everybody a 50% starting mana. Leprechaun jump starting a team with his initial spell. And then Queen Titania does the rest. Doesn't get much more straightforward and simple than this. Now Fairy Fire, of course, makes a difference as well, so really, really handy. Fairy Fire a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. So if you are a newer player, you don't want to do what I was doing, where I was ignoring some 4 matches, like on the one, I had a 4 match on yellow a couple of games ago, which I ignored. You would want to take that as a newer player. You're going to want to maximise your damage. Lots of green everywhere, so this is going to generate a decent amount of mana for the team. Yes, we're still well in the realm of just whacking everybody out here in a single cast of Queen Titania. What I was going to show is possibilities of a different kind of team. If you don't have, for example, King Oberon or the Queen Titania, if you don't have King Oberon for that 50% start, just chuck in 2 Leprechauns. Just cast them both back to back to get your Queen Titania charged up. That's a good way to go. If If you don't have a Queen Titania, then if you bizarrely have a Suna instead, she's actually somebody who I don't have yet. She's actually really, really good for this event. She steals life from the two weakest enemies, which is the same as true damage, and then steals 8 magic from the two strongest enemies. So that is a good way to go with that. She's quite handy for this, and she also fairyfies a random enemy when matching red gems. So works really, really well in this event. And if you've got 2 of them, just chuck 2 of them in, and that will be a good way to go. So if you do happen to have 2 Sunas, go Summer's Wonder, Suna, the Leprechaun, or even King Oberon for that 50% start. You'll find that is going to be probably about the same kind of speed. But whichever troop you have. If you don't have a Suna or a Queen Titania, I've not actually had a look at that yet. You're going to have to go for a slightly slower route. Just look at whichever troops you do have. And if they attack multiple enemies, that is going to be a better way to go. But literally, you're just going to have to do what you can with what you have, because literally it is Queen Titania and Suna are by far the best 2 to get going on this. There's Shimmer Scale, yeah, does a single enemy again. You may have to just go with the route of attacking single enemies. Tinsel Tail does have a chance to do damage to all enemies, so that's not a bad way to go. And if he doesn't do that, then he may give life. So yeah, not a ton of options for multiple hits on multiple enemies on this. It's just really Queen Titania or Suna. So this is the way I'm going for now, and no need to change it until, like I say, you cast your Queen Titania and the Summer's Wonder. And then if we get like a situation where we have to multiple cast them, then we may change about chucking in a second Queen Titania, but that time is not here yet. And of course you can actually add to the power of the team by casting King Oberon as well, because he gives magic to all allies and life. This makes it really good for later levels, especially if you're that newer player who that life is a bit of a game changer for you, sort of thing. I remember being a newer player and having to be really careful on these kind of events. Kind of enjoy those times in a way. These events now can be oddly a bit boring because it's just rinse and repeat. You don't have to really think about anything. You just do the same thing over and over. No real chance of dying or anything. Nothing really to think about. When I was a young, newer player, these events were really, really cool. It's like getting a little bit further in each event every single time. It felt like real progression in the game. And having to think a little bit about each move and who to cast next, and if I should boost my magic up first by casting King Oberon a couple of times. I mean, sure, it took longer, but yeah, that was really, really satisfying back in the early days of playing this game. So yeah, I'm not going to make this drag on too much longer, because so far this is working surprisingly well with one Queen Titania. I thought I would have had to change it up by now, but no need, especially with the 2 Noishas added. See, even though we've got survivors there, we've still got this 70 true scatter damage with a boost of plus 32, so that's true damage, remember. It's like, it ignores the armor, so we're still going to be in the realm of not having to change troops for quite a few rounds yet, I don't think. But like I say, I'll just do one more, and then I'll show maybe how you should think about changing the team if you decide you don't want to multiple cast Queen Titania. She's charged up already. Probably going to be enough once we get it charged. Yeah, and it gave those status effects then as well, which made everybody enraged. So really, really cool. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to do any more because that's probably enough. All I would say is if you get to the point where you have to cast Queen Titania more than once after you've cast your Summer's Wonder at the same time, then basically what you're going to want to do is swap out probably Leprechaun for another Queen Titania if you have one. So basically all you would do is go like that, you're still going to get a 50% start. You're still going to get a potion of enchantment at the beginning, so probably a single red, purple, or green. You're going to be good to go absolutely straight away, and then that is going to do you good for the event, I think, because two of these are going to do an absolute stack of damage. Combine that with the Summer's Wonder, and you'll be flying. And King Oberon will give life, give extra magic, and enchant all the Fey allies. And yeah, it's going to be pretty straightforward, I think. So there it is. There's the team. There's my class challenge for Frost Mage. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because it really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the future.